Hey guys, hope you're well. So today I'm going to show you one of the most underused strategies in Google Shopping that can absolutely skyrocket your revenue if done correctly, right? And that is duplicating your feed, right? Essentially what you're doing is you're almost creating a copy of your product at so additional ad spend, except you're split testing some of the most essential element like your feed title, potentially your image as well, right? The reason why your product title is absolutely crucial is that it determines your targeting, right? Think of your product title as Google's guide throughout kind of audience to show exactly matches queries your customers search, right? And so, for example, adding some keywords that relate to your top search terms, you can really increase your conversion rate on your product. You can increase your click-through rate massively without necessarily increasing spend, right? And that's something that we like to always split test. When it comes to Google Shopping, think of it as a continuous process of split testing, right? Many brands, they look at Google feed, they look at it one time and they just forget about it, whereas it should be sort of one of the most crucial parts of your backend, almost as crucial as optimizing your website, right? Optimizing your shopping feed is where a lot of the money is in Google Shopping, and that's something that we always like to focus on for our brands, right? And so, example here, this is a client no longer running, so I've chosen that sort of to over so how we're going to duplicate the feed and we're going to optimize titles, right? So the first thing, you go on Google Merchant Center, you go on products, then you're going to see a list of products here, and then what you want to do is download the products. It's going to download a TSV file. The next step would be for you to open a Google Sheets document, and then you import that file in a new Google Sheet, and that's what I'm going to do here. So now you can see here product titles. Obviously, in this case, there's so many different products. What we want to do is we want to always focus on the best sellers, right? Because again, you don't have infinite time and infinite source to split test. So beginning, it's always worth to start testing the best sellers, right? The most important products. If you have a tool like Data Feed Wash, then it's a different story. Then you can sort of modify a range of different products at the same time, right? So if we have a look at the product title here, deleted the majority of the products and kept, for example, bestseller, assuming that's a bestseller. Obviously, this is sort of a test example. It's not obviously a current live brand, right? So that's the current product title. So how would you go about optimizing a title, right? So and any kind of thing when it comes to Google Shopping, I go directly into the account and look at what kind of data is working. And so I'm going to do this here, obviously, as I mentioned, but the way to do that is you open your campaigns, look at your top revenue generating campaign, whether that's PMAX or shopping, select insights, and look at your top search terms, your top non-branded search terms. These search terms are going to tell you what's exactly converting. Google actually is going to give you the tools to generating more sales. You're just ignoring them, right? And so you're going to look at these tools. You're going to look at these search terms and add them into the title, right? So, example, in that case, the search terms was luxury iPhone sort of photo case, right? So to come here to this title, again, adding words that convey value like best selling, like our ultimate luxury. These categories in general tend to really help push sales because it sort of emphasizes this is a top product, right? So go here, for example, and say luxury iPhone custom photo case, right? Now, you might not think that this is such a massive change, but again, don't underestimate the impact of adding certain keywords to the product titles. We've seen enormous increases in click-through rates just by adding certain keywords, right? And so what you want to do here when it comes to the product ID is you want to create another ID, right? So again, you can just say bestseller duplicate, for example, just so Shopify Merchant Center doesn't actually go ahead and replace your actual bestseller. And so you keep the same everything. You keep the image again, unless you want to change these, right? And so here, let's rename that into the brand name, call it duplicate feed. So essentially what we've done here is we've created an additional product duplicate with a different beginning of the title, adding keywords that are best selling based on the search terms that we know, right?